Hello. This is a video that's not about hair. This is about me and my life. I'm sorry, I just did something with my hair and it looks crazy. Okay, so anyway, this is take 2 because I made another video and it was too long and got rejected. So this is for one of my subscribers who said they've been watching me for a long time. And sure enough, they have, because they asked me to, or they made mention of a series that I did about 2 years ago called Ask a Lesbian Couple, or Ask Two Black Lesbians, or something like that, that I did with my ex-girlfriend. And there were only like maybe 4 videos in the series, and I took them down about 1.5 years ago. So thank you so much for being a dedicated subscriber. I appreciate it. I don't put people's names on blast because I don't know how much information you want out there about yourself, or and questions that you might be asking. But I just want to let you know that I'm honored that you care about the answers to these questions from me. And so let's get at it, because I guess I only have 10 minutes. So somebody said we could upload up to 15 minutes now, and so that's what I tried to do, and it didn't work. So anyway, let's see. Oh man, I forgot to bring the questions up. Okay, and I'm not going to be able to do it either because my computer is acting up. Okay, so I'm going to go from memory on this one. Let's see. I want to say the first question, I think all my subscribers knew that I was a lesbian. If you didn't, then surprise, surprise, right? Anyway, I'm a lesbian. Excuse me. I think the first question that you asked was something to the effect of, what is my story? Like, what's my lesbian story? That's kind of long, and it would probably be a video in and of itself. So I'm just going to say I've exclusively been dating and in relationships with women for the past 16 years. The next question was, do I think being a lesbian is innate, or do I think it's a choice? And I definitely think that it's innate. The only time that I think that it's a choice is when you're bisexual and you equally like men or women, and then you choose to either be with a woman, say, like, for the rest of you get into a relationship with a woman and you stay with her for the rest of your life, or get into a relationship with a man and stay with him for the rest of your life. Something like that I would think was a choice. But being attracted to women has not really been a choice for me. It just is something that is a fact. I don't think it would be any easier for me to find men attractive and date men than it would be for someone who is heterosexual to find women attractive and be in relationships with women. You don't grow up thinking, which sexuality am I going to choose? Choices. You just find yourself attracted to certain types of people, and then you figure out, you go about figuring out how to get with them. So that's that. That's my opinion anyway. Let's see. The other question was, do you feel that being a lesbian is accepted in the black community, or African American community? Yes and no. I mean, obviously we have all of the preachers and hell and damnation type people who are out there. You have that in every culture. But in general, I think that gay people are becoming more and more accepted in the black community. I know that there are other communities that are much more harsh on their people than the African American community. Like if you're Jamaican, or you're East Indian, or Asian, you just, in cultures like that, you can be killed if you're found to be gay. So I definitely think that African Americans are more accepting than that. They're not as accepting, I think, as they could be. You know, it's kind of like this, it's more of a tolerance than an acceptance. It's like, you're fine, okay, you're gay, just don't talk about your girlfriend and don't talk about any of that gay shit, I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? And that's not really something that I feel comfortable with. I like to surround myself by people who are supportive of me and love me because of my choices and despite my choices as it pertains to sexuality and everything else. So, you know, I search out those types of folks and people who don't appreciate my lifestyle or can't respect it. You know, I let them go on and do their own thing. So, yes, it's accepted, but it's more like a tolerance. It's not a respect. And I think that's all that anybody's really asking for, you know, just respect for the fact that I have the right to make the choices that I make, and so do you. Let's see. The other question that you asked was, do I feel like I'm stereotyped in any way? No, I don't. I think that the only thing that I think that happens sometimes is that people don't readily recognize me as a gay person. They don't look at me and say, oh, she's definitely a lesbian. So sometimes I get unwanted attention from men. Sometimes I don't, I get privy to gay bashing because people think I'm straight. So in that respect, yes, but not really, if you know what I mean. I don't fit the stereotypical profile, I guess, so I don't get treated, you know, weirdly or anything. Let's see, you asked a question, something to the effect of, do I think that it affects, I know it wasn't, do you think it affects your friendships, but, oh, my identity as a black woman. Do I think it affects my identity as a black woman? No, I don't. Well, yes, I do, actually, but it's probably not what you would suspect. I think it affects my identity as a black woman because I love black women, and I love what black women are about. I love the deviliciousness of us, and I think it's amazing to see, you know, a strong, powerful, sensual black woman fully embracing everything, all of her femininity, if that makes sense, as well as her masculinity, just being everything, you know what I mean? And I love that about us. I think that we demonstrate all of those sensibilities more than any other culture that I'm familiar with. And what I really love to see is a woman like that in love with a strong, incredible, loving, nurturing black man. And I feel like as a black woman, I'd love to be able to express all of that, and I can't because I'm not attracted to men. So, so in a way I feel kind of like cheated out of that little piece of it. Like, I wish somehow I could create that in my life, but you know, there's that piece that I can't really gain access to. I can't access that of myself. So, you know, in that respect, I think it affects my identity as a black woman. And I also feel like with some of my heterosexual female friends, I feel cheated out of that piece of the camaraderie, because, you know, we'll be out and they'll see some guy and they're like, oh my God, he's so hot and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, huh, yeah, you know, he is nice looking. You know what I mean? But that's all I can really put into it, because there's not anything about him other than maybe him being attractive or friendly that I can relate to. And so I feel like sometimes we don't have as much of a bond, you know, like that whole girlfriend bond thing that we would. Let's see. And then your last question was, God, I hope I'm not running out of time. Okay, your last question was, how do you think that it affects, does being a lesbian affect my opinion on family or change my outlook on family or something like that? And no, it doesn't. Family is family. And, families are so diverse and dynamic that, throwing a couple of lesbians in the mix doesn't really, make that big of a difference. I've had, I don't know if I've mentioned in this video, but I've had 2 major relationships that were major for me. I don't know what they meant to the other people, but they were major for me. And one was where I have an ex-wife that I was with for 6 years. We had a commitment ceremony. We blended our families. She had children. I had my son. And our kids, defer to us as if we were their parents, and they were loved and nurtured by us in that way. When we separated or divorced, it was just as traumatic on our children as a regular divorce would be. They were devastated, and so that was that. The relationship that I had for 2 years, I think 2.5 years maybe, my last major relationship, my son liked that woman, and again, when it ended, he was heartbroken. I mean, that type of thing is like hard on a person's heart. So as it affects my son, I feel, I guess devastated as a parent that he's had to go through that. I know that's been traumatic for him. He's gotten over it, but that's hard on a person's heart, and as a parent, you never want to put your child through something like that. So, I can't say that I regret either of those relationships, in the respect that just because they were lesbian relationships, they were inherently bad or wrong. But I can say that I wish that they hadn't gone down the way they did, if that makes sense, as it relates to how it affected my son. And then I also check in with him on a fairly regular basis just to see how he's doing with his peers and how he feels about, the whole gay thing. And, I've been gay ever since he's been alive. He's never been raised to believe that anything was wrong or bad about it. I'm certain he feels that it's a normal situation. Whenever we've gone to church, we've always gone to affirming churches, or even if they were secular, they were secular churches that weren't preaching hell and damnation to gays. So he's always been in an environment where it's been looked at as something that's just a normal part of life, and so consequently that's the way he views it. I think it's made him a well-adjusted child. I mean, he's not homophobic, he's not sexist, and he's just very, very open. He has his own sexuality. He's heterosexual, and he's comfortable with that. So that's it. I hope that I'm trying to hurry up. I hope that this answers all your questions. I really appreciate you asking. Thank you so much. I'm very flattered that you value my opinion. All right. Good luck to you. Ciao.